Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I know you're reading the title like, surprise, like you're married. Why should the baby be a surprise? Let me tell you guys, even in marriage, children are a surprise. So in this video, I'm going to share with you my conception story, my funny conception story. Yes, it was not planned. And also my first trimester update. So let's get into it. Every parent is always looking for what's best for their child. And in this family, we are choosing Pampers. Pampers keeps our baby's skin dry, free from rashes, and it's definitely value for money. And that's why Pampers Ye Yange. And I'm glad to inform you that they are partnering with me on this video. So try Pampers for yourself. You will not regret it. Even for this unborn child, when they come, I'm definitely using Pampers. Alright, so guys, the story is finally here. I know many people on Instagram, I shared with them that this was not as planned as we wanted it to be, and they couldn't wait for the story. So, this is what happened. So, Steve and I have been using natural family planning. Yeah? Safe days, etc, etc. You know the drill. And it's been working for us because King is 4, Rain is 2, so 2-year gap, But because of how hard Rain's pregnancy, not the pregnancy, how hard her postpartum was, the depression and the crying and the colic, I still felt like I needed more time. And I've shared on here before that for me, I felt like 2 kids were enough. Like, what are we looking for? But Steve wants 6. So yes, I knew that maybe this year I would conceive, but like later, later on. Anyway, so one day we go for a brunch with my girls, some friends of mine, and we had a good time. So at the end of the brunch, some of us stay behind, to talk more and just catch up a bit. So as we were chatting, the issue of family planning comes up, as always. You know this topic. What are you using? For you, what's working? Oh my God, me, I'm scared. What? All these things. And then one of our friends tells us she's using some natural family planning method. And it was working for her for 3 years. I was like, please tell us, So she tells us she has been using castor seeds. Have you guys heard of castor seeds? I was like, no, castor seeds, like what's that? Like, castor oil. So the seeds that make castor oil I use for family planning, and they are natural, they are safe, they work, they don't have any effects over hormones or what. And I'm all about that stuff because for me, I vowed up to this time, like I'm not going to put anything, because you guys keep asking me, family planning, talk about it. You guys, I have nothing to say about family planning, except that I don't want my body to be like an experiment. Will I put on weight? The hormones, will I what? There's too much around it. So she tells me castor seeds are working for her. All you have to do is swallow 2 seeds. Swallow 2 seeds once a month on the same day. Like if you say you're going to swallow on 1st of November, so you continue 1st December, 1st Jan, 2 seeds only, and your kawa, like you can enjoy. I was like, you're kidding me. So I ran to Google. Castor seeds for family planning. Does it work? The information was actually there. People are using castor seeds. I was like, oh my God, I can't. This is why I came for the brunch. This is the real reason, nothing else. And my other friends there were also like, oh my God, please, where can we get these castor seeds? She's like, I can arrange for you. What? I'm like, oh my God, are you sure it works? She's like, it works. It's working for me 3 years now. Even my other friends are using it. I couldn't wait to reach home to tell Steve because I knew the excitement was going to be off the roof. So I get home. When Steve comes back, I'm like, babe, come. I have some news for you. Good news. He's like, what is it? We have found a solution. Finally, we can now enjoy properly. He's like, seeds, are you sure? I'm like, just like bean seeds, but castor seeds, just that these ones have something Or what? Something? You guys, I can't believe it. Let me tell you. So December, that was in December, like early December when we had the brunch. So we pestered this chick for the castor seeds. Me and some other friends, please, where are the castor seeds? Where can I get? She's like, oh my God, I'm trying to get them. And then she, went for Christmas, the trips and all these things. She was so busy. But finally, the castor seeds arrived. That was 12th January. I'll never forget that day. So my friend also gets the castor seeds. She sends me mine. We're like, are we ready? Are we ready? So I was doing some research on the castor seeds and I realized, so I'm going to show you a picture of the castor seeds. If you're confused, if you don't know how they look like, I'm here for you. So they're like small seeds. You're supposed to take off the top part because the top part is poisonous. That's something you need to know. But then you swallow the inside thing, yeah? But then, at that point, I didn't have that information. So for me, I asked her, are you sure these seeds are mwah? She's like, so do they work immediately? Like if I swallow them today, I can get into the act and I will not be pregnant? She's like, girl, they work. So I get my castor seeds, 2 of them. I swallow. I'm like, wow. Now, I think the challenge was I had just finished my period, so now I was ovulating, like I was on the real ovulation day, like the egg was just there waiting for something. So I swallowed my castor seed. I put a reminder, because you have to swallow on the same day. So I knew that 12th of Feb, I had to swallow. So I put my calendar, please always remind me, swallow castor seeds at this time. I didn't want to forget. So Steve comes back. I'm like, I have swallowed the castor seed. He's like, whoa, should we check it out and see if it works? Now, you guys, I'm always on my guard. Steve knows. Like for me, because I had said, pregnancy, please, I need to prepare myself mentally before I even start this conception thing. Yeah? Because, it's too much. So I think over the next day, I think a day or two, we decided to check it out. Check out the castor seeds. Wow. 1 week after, I begin feeling some pains. I'm like, the castor seed is working. Like, I think it's really doing its job. Whatever it does inside there, it's working. But then I keep doing research and I'm like, Panange, but this pain seems like implantation. Panange, I was so scared. I'm like, no, there is no way I've done this to myself. Like, it's all on me. It's me who is always strict. But I brought the castor seed into our house. So I wait for my period. Expectant. When you're just like, please God, please. Those things people pray. Please, this is the last time. You guys, even when you're married, it's not obvious that I want a child now. Yeah, I had gone through so much. And let me tell you guys, I'd even done personal shopping with Bisa Styles. I spent money, a lot of money, by the way, to get my my outfits in check, my branding, the way I look, all that stuff, because I knew that this was my year. I just quit my job, yeah? So I'm just getting into it, yeah? And then now check. Anyway, to cut the long story short, the time for my period comes, nothing. Second time, I'm feeling some pains. I think it's just delayed, like those pains you get. Even there are times you feel like cramps. You're like, yeah, let me even, get ready because I don't want to stain. It's coming. Nothing. I said, you know what, babe? Let's get the pregnancy test and check. You guys. In fact, I was still peeing on the stick. Like I was not yet even almost double lines. You guys, I was in so much shock. I couldn't believe I had done this to myself. Like no one. I'm always blaming Steve. You're the one. I was ovulating. Why did you? But this time, I had no one to blame. I laughed so hard. Like that laughter of joy and sadness. Like you're not sure of how to feel. I ran up to Steve to show him the stick. For him, of course, he was happy. Like, Isn't it 116? Wow, on the right track. You guys, that is how the castor seed brought this bundle of joy. But I realized that I think I needed to take it, like to keep taking it, to give it some time to enter the system. The thing had not entered, we were there trying it. I should have given it more time. And then also because it was ovulation, the body needed enough time to just absorb all the castor seeds ingredients, you know, because it's working for other people. So please, before you take castor seeds, first of all, first do your research about the castor seed, but also talk to your gynes. When I try to talk to my gyne, they've never heard of castor seeds, but also I know because the medical world is just, you know, giving us all these other things, scientific. Maybe the natural ones can also work, but we need to put in more research in them because they don't have as drastic, like the effects are not as drastic as these other family planning methods. So you guys, that is the story of how I conceived this child with a castor seed. The baby might come out with them like this, 2 of them. And when I told my dad, I told my parents, oh God, you guys, this is what happened. My dad laughed at me. He's like, I educated you. You're fully educated. And you took seeds for family. He laughed at me, Manangi. Anyway, that is how the conception happened. So now I can tell you what I've been going through from that time, this first trimester, how it's been. By the time this video comes out, hopefully I'll be out of this, you know, all this that I've been going through. So let's talk about it. So guys, that is how this baby here was conceived, with castor seeds. And now I just want to tell you about my first trimester update, what's been going on, how I've been feeling, because I know by the time this video comes out, I'll be out of this whole mess. I am believing and praying, yeah? So let's talk about it. So you guys, are you seeing this beautiful setup here? It's been designed by Crown House of Deco. They do all kinds of decoration, baby showers, you know, bridal showers, weddings, and so forth. So just reach them out on their Instagram. You'll find them Crown House of Deco. I love it. All right. So guys, first trimester. So I have my notes here because I've been like going through it, like everything I face, I write it down. You know, pregnancy brains, you can't forget. So I just wanted to make sure I just take you along, yeah? So let me tell you, if you Google symptoms of first trimester, just see that list. It is me. I am it. It's been tough, yeah? So about 7th, I took the test. That's when I took the test, and you know, it was positive. I began to swallow folic acid, but also I knew, you know, they keep saying that immediately find out you're pregnant, start moisturizing, to prevent stretch marks. So I began, but as I began, I remembered that for my first baby, I had that same jazz, and I used to moisturize. I did it daily, like bio oil, and one day, over 6 months, over 7 months, I just woke up and I was a zebra. So I realized that these things are genetic, because they say if your mom had stretch marks, more likely you'll have stretch marks, and she did. So I was moisturizing, and now I'm no longer too disciplined, because I know that if stretch marks are coming, they will come. So I just moisturize to just keep the skin smooth and all these things. Please don't die because of stretch marks. They will come, and when they come, embrace them. Yeah, embrace the inner tigress in you. Yeah. So that's with moisturizing. Of course, the fatigue I've been feeling is just out of this world. All I want to do is sleep, but then you have work. Some of us are content creators. We have to show face on Instagram and YouTube. I'm here shooting, but what I'm feeling right now, I want to push, yeah? But you just have to do it. So I want to push always. And then you have children, they're asking you, Mommy, what is it? You're oversleeping, what's wrong, you know? So I began to tell the children quite early about the baby that's in the stomach. So they also get used to the idea that someone else is coming. So one day, I was telling King, okay, there's a baby in my stomach. Remember, even you used to be in my stomach. You know that whole kajaz. And then he's like, so your stomach is going to become big. I'm like, yes. Then how will the baby come out? I'm like, I will push the baby. He's like, you're going to have a hole. I didn't know how to proceed from there. I was just like, okay, yes, of course there is a hole, but I'm not going to talk about this. I'm like, the baby will come out, no worries. So, but at least now they know, and I keep telling them, talk to baby. Of course, we have a name. For us, we have 6 names already lined up for our babies, just in case, Like, we already set them up. So we already have a name, so we're already using the baby's name. We already know if it's a boy, if it's a girl. But since I was ovulating, it's going to be a boy. That science. You go and Google if you don't know it. Yeah. So King was funny. And yeah, and also I believe you need to confirm these names with God, because the identity of your children is in the name that you give. You've seen children who are called Senabulia or what, like, and then it's actually true. Like, what they do is related to the name. So speak with God as you're finding out what names you should name your children, because it follows them and it's who they're going to become. Yeah, that's why I want to talk about names. So yeah, you see, all through Valentine's, I was telling people, oh my God, Valentine's, celebrate. But you guys, I was suffering. I couldn't even go to restaurants because of the smells, and I couldn't eat anything. For some time, I only wanted to eat avocados, but then they are not filling, and then you get bloated, and then with the bloating comes nausea. You guys, I've been going through it. Puking. For me, my morning sickness is like evening. That's when it's bad. It's really bad. So I try to get some tabs for the vomiting and also some syrup for the bloating. So talk to your gynae if you're going through all this. Talk to your gynae. There will be some things to help cope. Like, they will not eliminate it, because even with the vomiting medicine, I'm still throwing up, and it's so bad. Like, you're puking, and you feel like your intestine literally is coming out. Like, you are holding onto the sink. Like, every time I feel it, I'm like, babe! And then he comes, and then I start, and then he's holding me, because as you guys, it's bad. It's bad. So guys who don't go through this morning sickness thing, you're God's chosen ones, honestly, because it's tough. Yeah. So the bloating is too much. And then the endless hunger. Can we talk about the endless hunger, you guys? In the first trimester, I eat, but there's like a hole somewhere where the food goes, You eat, it disappears. You're hungry the next 5 minutes. You're like, but I just fed you. Like, come on. What's the problem? And then it won't want anything. You try the salad. Of course, it's like, fruit, those things of eat healthy. Let me tell you, I can eat banana. Even if I eat like a whole cluster of bananas, the whole pineapple, it doesn't work. It wants something thick, like rice, like chapati, like heavy things. And those heavy things, of course, are going to make you put on weight. But for some reason, that's what the body wants. And then you continue to be hungry. So I try to take smaller portions, because it helps with the nausea, but then the bloating. Because they say when you get pregnant, there's a hormone that reduces the digestion. It starts to move like a snail. So you're bloated, but then you're hungry. Then you don't know what to do. You can't put food on food. Like, it's terrible. And then when I sleep, it's worse. Like, when I'm sleeping, everything is just but then when you wake up, everything just comes back, and you're like, oh my God, I should remain sleeping, So that's what I've been going through. It's not been easy, but that's what is happening. And then spitting. Like, I used to hear that pregnant women spit. I'm like, what's that all about? Why are you spitting? Your mouth is bitter. You feel like you need to remove whatever is there. Like, it's just so... For all the women I judged who used to spit, I'm sorry. Spitting. Just let me know in the comment section what you go through in your pregnancy, because when we hear from one another, we encourage each other, we hold each other's hands and say, wow, I'm not alone, but God, help us go through this season. Yeah. Another thing was brushing teeth. Every time I'm going to brush my teeth, I need a strategic plan. I'm like, right, where are we going? What is the future like? Where should I go? Should I pass here or here? Should I pause? What are the obstacles in my way? Honestly, that's it with brushing. Like, I look at my toothbrush and it begins to bring, So I have to be strategic, pause on the tongue. And then Steve tells me, but you don't brush then. I'm like, but how can I not brush? Already your mouth is sour. You just want to remove everything that's in there. But as you do that, the next step, so it's been really hard, but I'm hopeful that the next phase is going to be amazing because I need to get my energy back. I want to try to exercise. I tried to exercise like 2 times. I was like, you know what? It's kawa, yeah? So, it's been quite a journey, but I know this is all God's plan. Like, he knew that if he had not brought these seeds into my life, I would still not want a child. But he's like, please, you're spoiling my plans. So please, get the child, finish, and everything will be kawa. So yeah, that is my first trimester update. My bump is not yet so big. This is mostly bloating. If you see that, it's mostly bloating. But there's like a small bump, like a small one. But if I suck it in, you guys won't even tell that I'm pregnant, yeah? So yeah, that's my update. That's my story. I hope you enjoyed it. Please research on castor seeds before you take them. But I'm not giving up on them. I will try next time. I will try. My name is Lisa Kusima, and I'm always here to inspire.